Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today I had sales magician Dominik Landolt. He is a pianist, musician, composer, and songwriter. In this two-part interview, we are going through all the things musicians should have learned about sales in school before getting out to the real world, where you have to manage yourself, pitch yourself, make good connections, network with people, and overall learn how to promote yourself. He actually had this incredible analogy after we finished filming this episode where he said, it's as if the iPhone, the person who created the iPhone, would then hold it up and say, this is the best iPhone ever created, and I'm just going to put it on this table and hope that people find it. And he said that would be literally insane, and yet that is what musicians do. We become the very best musician we can be. We slave away in the practice room. We work really, really hard, and then we think, they are just going to find me. The right people are just going to find me. And of course, we know that that's not true and that you have spent your entire life learning how to get heard, but you have not learned how to get seen. And so that's what we teach you, not only in this podcast, but in the Fast Forward membership, which I would love to invite you to check out. You're welcome to come to a free call and learn all about what we do in group coaching settings with 50 plus musicians from all over the world. If you would like to join a free call, just DM us Fast Forward and we will get you the details. But for now, enjoy part one of this conversation with Dominik Landolt. Hi there, and welcome to the Fearless Artist Podcast, where we empower classical musicians to build their own thriving careers. I'm your host, Michelle Lynn, and together with Deanna Petre, we teach artists to conquer the entrepreneurial side of their careers and create the futures they want.
We are two freelance classical musicians who have lived and worked in Europe for a decade, and together we started the Fearless Artist Mastermind, a coaching company created to teach classical musicians how to overcome fear and take action on building their dream careers.
In each episode, we will explore the intersection of artistry and entrepreneurship, teaching you the fearless mindset with practical steps and strategies to build a sustainable career.
Get ready to build your own artistic brand, find a supportive community of musicians so that you don't have to figure out everything alone, and earn a living that you deserve.
We believe that you can be a thriving artist and not a starving one, and we are redefining what it means to be a classical musician in the modern era. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fearless Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Lynn. Today, I am very happy to have on Dominik Landolt, a return guest, because actually we've done an episode together already, which was a recorded session from our Fearless Career Day back in September, 2 months ago already. Dominik, welcome. We're excited to have you back.
Thank you, Michelle. It's really great to be back. And thank you again for having me as a guest at your Career Day. I enjoyed it a lot. And being back on the show, yes, means a lot, actually, because I like talking about sales for musicians. I think it's a really great topic, because if you don't know how to do sales, if you don't know how to get to your booking like in order, it doesn't matter how much you're practicing, because no one will listen to it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what we want to talk about. So I'm glad that you're here. Going back to September, what was one of the things that stuck with you, or what did you like about the Fearless Career Day?
I loved how I like the interaction, with people. I think that's the big difference if you really talk to someone and not just like chat with AI or something, because you have this interaction and you can ask questions and you have like this community. Also, if someone asks a question, 20, 30, 40 more people can put their input in.
Yeah.
And I liked that this really worked great, because people really were brave enough to ask the questions, even though they knew that they were recorded. And I think this exchange of different histories, different ways through life, and different approaches, different thoughts helps everyone in the community. If you like share your thoughts and share your information and what you worked on with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it takes a certain level of courage to ask in front of the group, but I'm glad that we do have that safety within the group, that people can feel that they can ask. Also, your presentation was so great. Sales for musicians. Why don't you introduce yourself for everyone who's not familiar with you yet, and then tell us how you got into the process of learning sales and how it affects your life as a musician as well.
Mm-hmm. I started doing music when I was 4 years old, kind of. So I started playing the accordion. Then when I was in my teen years, in my wild years, playing accordion was not so cool, So I just thought, okay, what else does have keys and is a little cooler? So I started playing piano.
Woo.
And then
Piano is very cool.
Yes, it is. I think the coolest people play piano.
Yes.
Yes, and then played some saxophone for some while and ended up playing piano again. So that's my musical background. I did some music productions. I led some music labels, and now I'm still playing piano for some bands and play some solo shows too. But mainly, I'm doing sales for a company in Austria, which has nothing to do with music. So I always did my booking for myself and for my bands and for my projects. And then starting to learn how sales really works in the private economy bubble, kind of, opened my thoughts to, oh my God, if I would have known that back when I was like 16 years old, booking my shows and trying to like start my music career, it would have been so much easier, because there is a reason why companies have sales departments. There's a reason why companies have marketing departments. There is a reason why companies have departments. And we as musicians always have to do everything by ourselves,
Yep.
at least at the beginning of our career. And we have so much input about practicing more, about music education, about music theory, about how to write a song, about how to write a symphony, whatever your topic is. But no one ever tells you how actually you can make money with it so that you can also pay your rent. Because at the end of the day, it's fine to have a great musical career. It's fine to play music. People get moved if you play music that you really feel and that you really you're on stage, you're doing what you love. But if at the end of the day it's not possible for you to pay your bills, then yeah, you'll be in a very inconvenient situation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're speaking the heart and message of the fearless artist. So I'm just sitting here. I'm just sitting here smiling. Yes, obviously we agree. Hey everybody, real quick, I just want to say that if you are struggling to post on Instagram, first of all, you are not alone. Most musicians are sitting there scrolling and not knowing what they would actually post about. Second of all, if that's you, then I have a free gift for you. It is our free guide, 10 golden rules to posting on Instagram as a classical musician. If you follow these 10 rules, you will grow, you will get more followers, you will get more views, you will know what hashtags to use, you will write captions that are interesting, and you will build an audience. And guess what a bigger audience gives you? More concerts. That's right, everybody. So all you need to do is DM us on Instagram at the Fearless Artist Mastermind. Just write golden, and we will send you our free guide. Hope you love it, and thanks for listening. Okay, let's jump right in because this is perfect. What did 16-year-old Dominik need to know back then?
First of all, I think 16-year-old Dominik should have known that if you want to go out having a drink, you should not do it where bookers and managers are.
Oh,
So, to be really honest, it's fine to like go out and have fun, but maybe also start being a little more professional if you're at an event, if you're at a jam session, if you're at a concert, and okay, there is some people who are really important in the scene. Just like make sure that you know what the output of this day is as a goal for yourself. So it could be getting some telephone numbers. It could be having a nice talk. It could be having a follow up for a coffee on the next morning or whatever. But just like be really clear to set yourself goals, what you want to achieve when you're somewhere. And if you just want to hang with your friends and have fun, maybe do it somewhere else.
okay. That is actually such good advice. Like anytime you walk into a room or a situation, to have a goal in mind. I want to connect with X many people or make sure that I speak to so and so. I actually have to be somewhere in an hour that have the same things. That's so helpful to really clarify the purpose of what we're doing there.
Mhm. Um, Also, if it's possible, if you know the guest list, if you know who's like participating at certain events, it's not possible to talk to everyone there. So really make sure that you know, okay, this one person, I really want to talk to this one person. There is this Michelle and she's having a podcast and I really want to be in the show of this podcast. So I want to talk to her. So really try to approach this person and really spend quality time, maybe not pitching right away, because um, you have to imagine if you're at an event, networking event, concert, whatever, and someone talks to you, everyone wants to hear themselves talk. Everyone wants to tell me, yes, I play a show here and I'm doing this and I'm so great doing that. And I practiced 8 hours today and I studied with this guy and with this. And actually, no one really cares because as long as you're talking, the other person is waiting for her to tell you exactly the same thing she's doing right now. So if you're just going to an event, to a networking event, and you're the one person listening instead of talking, you will be the one stuck in their head because they will feel appreciated. They will feel like some kind of empathy for you because you really cared and you're not there to just make your point. So this is something which really helped me a lot, business wise and also musically, because yeah, not a lot of people go to events to listen actually.
Yeah, this is gold what you're saying, and this I learned from Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Have you read that in German maybe?
Actually not, but it's a great tip. So I'll have something to read the next
Yeah.
couple of days.
'Cause he
Thank you.
he speaks extensively about this, like, listen more than you talk, ask questions, get curious about the person, because it's exactly what you said, people wanna talk about themselves. So if they have someone who is listening, paying attention, asking good questions, of course, that's building the interest and the relationship, that when you ask later, not the first time you see the person, but later, then you've
Mhm.
got the warmth of the relationship. Although I have to push back a little bit on you, because the reason you're on this podcast was, like, you DM'd me, "Hey, can I come on?" But to be fair, I already liked you, so that's why I said yes.
Great. Yes, and this is also like, if situation like this happen, it's exactly what you should actually do. Like what happened with us is Bernhard Keres introduced us, so I was invited to the Fearless Artists Career Day, and then I thought like, okay, but let's just like deepen the conversation a little more in another show. So I wanted to be on the podcast. So first of all, we had exchange for the career day. Then I sent you a message like, hey, Michelle, I'd really love to be on your show. So be brave enough to ask the question. Nothing's going to happen. If you would have said, Dominik, come on, you've just been on another podcast. We can't invite you. Let's do it next year. Okay, at least I would have a follow up next year. But if you don't ask a question, you will not be invited in the conversation. So ask the questions you want to ask. There's nothing going on if there is a no. And no is better than a yes without commitment. This is from like a lot of books actually.
Mm.
So just ask if you want to have if you want to be on the table, ask the question. It's really easy.
Okay,
And
yeah, tell me more. The no is better than a yes without commitment.
of
That's a
course,
gold.
because if I want you to shut up or anyone to shut up, I would just like, yes, let's do it. And then never like call you back, never answer back. But if someone tells you no, because then you have the because you can talk about. Okay, so you're saying that because of that, it's not possible now. So what should happen for me or for you that is possible in the future? And then we have another conversation going on because then we can postpone the meeting or we can talk about something else. We can talk about another collaboration, about another show, about another follow up, whatever. But then I have something to answer because I asked the question. If I'm just if I'm happy with the yes without commitment, then you probably will never pick up the phone again. And I will be happy for another week thinking that I will get the call and then find out that I'll never get the call.
We need to insert some sad music right there at that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sad violin
I'm
music. Exactly, the crying. This is so, so good. I love this because I think this comes into the art of possibility, looking for possible negotiation 101. So many musicians give up before they even try.
yeah,
First of all, they don't even ask. Second of all, the no comes back and they don't say, okay, why is it no? Exactly what you said. What's the because? Because if there's a because, maybe I can find a solution to that problem. And then suddenly doors are going to open, possibilities will open. Or as you're saying, if it's not now, maybe it's next season. And then I know to follow up. Then people ask all the time, how do I create a sustainable career long term? Well, that's exactly it. You ask a lot of people now, you might get half that say no, and then you can book things for next season
true.
already.
Yes. Yes, exactly like this. There is a book, it's called Start with No by Jim Camp.
I don't
I
know.
really like this book.
Okay.
It's about like business and negotiations mostly. And this is exactly like the book. In a very short summary says a no is better than a yes without commitment. And really like deepen the thoughts about that helps a lot. It's also brought up in other books, like also how to frame questions. People are, it's so much easier for people to say no than to say yes.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, talk about that. I've heard that before.
Yes, if you're I'm a father for 5 months, so my kid is not talking, but I was teaching a lot. So if you're dealing with kids a lot, most of them always learn the word no before they learn the word yes, or at least they like to use it more often.
Mhm.
And probably some some psychologists will tell us the reason. Probably because of this brain development, it's way easier for us to just say no.
Mm-hmm.
So if you frame a question in a way that the answer no fit for your purpose, it's way easier. So is now a bad time to talk? No. It's much easier than do we have time right now? No.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you just like use these small tricks, if you're getting to know a little about neurobiology or something like this, just read a little bit of behavior of human beings. It's very easy to understand how we feel comfortable and how we don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's so good. Also, would you be opposed to playing together next season? No, I wouldn't be opposed. Like, okay,
Yes.
so what can we do then? Right? It's like it's a way to kind of start the
Yeah.
conversation of yeah, in negotiations. What else did 16-year-old Dominic need to know?
I think the main mistake everyone makes is thinking that the hours you're spending in the practice room is the success you have later on,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't mean that not practicing is the solution, but practicing and not having social interaction is also not helping your career. So I think um, I know some classical musicians, and there is always a lot of talking about why people get jobs and why people don't get jobs, and somehow it always ends up with the people who are like in the bubble, they get the calls, and if you're not in the bubble you don't get the calls. So you can now complain about this, or you can try to be part of the bubble, you know. So even if you're not the most outgoing extrovert person, you don't have to be. Just make sure that you're part of the conversation and that you ask question, that you make yourself present. It's the same all the time. If you're not included in the group socially, then it's way harder for them to call you, because if there is no like level beside the music, why would I call you? If we don't have some kind of, it doesn't have to be friendship, but some kind of bonding moment,
Mm-hmm.
why would I call this pianist, not this pianist?
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I was talking to someone yesterday, also like in the business context, and he said the reason why people work for companies is because they feel some kind of engagement with the people they work with, because at the end of the day, all the companies in the same
Field.
branch
Yeah.
fields, they all have the same customers, they all have the same pay grade, they all have the same topics. So everything actually is the same, besides that there is some kind of reason why you're in this company and not in the other company. And this is the same with like selecting musicians or joining bands. You probably get the same payment. You probably most of the times play the same repertoire. You play in the same cities, in the same concert halls, but somehow it feels more comfortable asking this guy or this guy or this girl or this girl, you know? So you have to have something more to offer than just your musical talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is great. So for everyone listening, what's a way that you can make yourself have that more factor that you're talking about, like that they would call us over the other person?
Um, One guy told me, famous singer guy in Austria once told me, I'm calling the one I want to hang in the tour bus, not the one who's playing the nicest solo. So, if you feel comfortable about around people, of course you want to spend more time with them.
Right.
And if the level of musicality is, I frame it in a not so nice way, good enough,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I accept someone who's not playing so nicely over someone who's playing much better, if this guy brings more to the group than this guy. There's also like some Simon Sinek approach to that. So high performer, low performer in companies. If you have toxic people in your system, it one person who's like the best of the best of the best in their field, but not a team player, will like somehow make the whole system collapse. So if you have someone who's probably not the most high performing artist, but someone really social, someone really warm, someone really understanding, helping, trying to like make everyone shine too,
Mm-hmm.
will altogether have way more value than this one guy playing the best solo, but he's never like in the group, never part of the team. Never.
Mm-hmm. 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 This is interesting. What does it take to be a good team player? Also thinking of the classical music world, which is very competitive, which is very
Yeah.
maybe toxic in some ways, edging each other out, the one soloist who is got it all.
hmm I think that's the whole problem of the whole society, musical society, is that there is no trying to help and support each other. There is no, or at least not so much as in other fields. We don't have this strength as a community to say, okay, this is the price for a concert, and no one's gonna play for less,
Mm-hmm.
because there's always someone playing for less.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
Or teaching. Yeah.
or teaching, yes, or also like recording, doing master files, whatever. Um, so the first step would be to have at least a national understanding what kind of work should like cost what kind of money,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can start over. It's also the same with yes, let's say AI in music. If we would have a system where everyone in the music field would know if there is AI music accepted as songwriting tools, and everyone would get some part of the money they're making with it, I think no one would have a problem with that, right? The problem is that someone else decides who is making money in the music field, not including the musicians. So if we would have a common understanding of we are a group and we have to support each other, because if someone of us does it for less, it reflects to all of us. We wouldn't have this conversation all the time.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the way unions are popping up in orchestra, for example, but with freelancers, it's much
Yeah.
different. Coming back to the presentation you gave at the Fearless Day, you were talking a lot about, what makes a good sales conversation, a good pitching conversation. What were some of the gems that you were sharing with us then?
hmm I think if you can frame what you're doing in one sentence and make this one sentence interesting, it's way better than talking for an hour without saying anything. We are always trained in school, also in society, also watching politicians talk, that talking a lot with a lot of words, sometimes with a lot of complicated words, is how you show someone that you're intelligent, that you're eloquent, that you know what you're doing. But in the real world, no one wants to read or talk or listen for an hour, and there is no outcome.
Mm.
So if you can just like say what you want to say in one sentence and make this one sentence interesting, I think it's way easier for you to get jobs and good conversations afterwards.
Okay, can I put you on the spot then? We need some examples. So
For
let's
example,
yeah, if you're gonna sell a piano concert or you wanna get booked for your let's say your accordion career is coming
mhm,
back to life, like what are you saying in this one sentence? Help us out here.
um, if I would be on your podcast, for example, I could say, "Hey, Michelle, um, I'm doing sales coaching based on songwriting tools. I think it's really interesting for the community to listen to that, because there's a lot of, uh, yes, it makes a lot of sense talking about that. Do you feel open that we're discussing this now and when we did record it?" After like listening to what you're doing, asking you questions about your podcast, asking you questions about how you built the podcast, who's your audience and stuff like this, to give you the feeling, and also hopefully also really honestly mean it, to understand what you're doing, and for making you interested in inviting me. Because um, if I would not care who's listening to this, if I just want to be on the show without any background information, probably you would not be so interested in inviting guests like this, right? So let's say before I'm starting to talk about what I'm doing, I would ask you a question. I say, "Hey, Michelle, we know each other for a week now, let's say. I saw that you're doing a really great podcast. I was listening to some episode today where someone talked about this and that. How did you start doing that?" And I would just listen. Like, really, listening is an active kind of thing. Yeah, you can't passively listen to someone if you're really interested. So really try to listen. Really try to understand what the person's telling you,
Mm,
not just waiting for you to talk again. Yeah.
yes.
So having this one sentence, I would ask my next question saying like, okay, it seems like you have a really great audience. You just had the Fearless Career Day. I saw that you did this on your homepage with Bernhard Keres, who was the CEO of Concerthaus, which is really interesting for me because I also know Bernhard to have some like link why I'm even talking to you. So could you maybe tell me how you started all of this? How did you build your audience? To really like have this empathetic conversation, making you feel that I'm really interested in what you're doing. And after that, telling you, hey, you know, this sounds exactly like the community I want to talk to. I'm doing the sales coachings based on songwriting tools, which also has like this musical thing going on in the system I'm doing. Maybe we could talk about that and maybe share some things I'm doing in my business for the community. So, does this sound like something you want to talk about? And then we had like this conversation, one sentence I would probably like really write down and not just stumble like I did right now. So that yeah, that you know, okay, this guy's interested in it, and now he's like telling me in one sentence what he wants to achieve, when he wants to achieve it, what he's doing, and let's go.
Did you listen to the podcast before you wrote me?
I listened to the podcast before I wrote you. Actually, I listened to some parts of the podcast before the Fearless Career Day
Sorry.
because I wanted.
Yeah, you
No, no,
did actually. Yeah, but you were actually very interesting because I didn't know you at all. And then you emailed me already to say, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And we tried to connect before the actual event. So that meant a lot to me, to be honest. Yeah.
and that's the difference, Also with all the clients we're having, with all the students we're having. I'm actually selling an online course right now for musicians. It's in German. Sorry for that. So what I'm doing is I always tell everyone who's interested in the course, hey, it's 90 euros lifetime access. You can do it whenever you want, wherever you want. You can listen to every episode as long as you want, as often as you want. And you have my contact dates. So if you have any other questions, just talk to me, write me, ask. There, if I don't want to give it to you for free anymore, I'm just gonna say no. It's over now. But this moment never came till now. So I think having a real interest in helping people develop, in helping people out with wherever they're stuck right now in their career, this makes you feel way more appreciated and way better about decisions than just like someone like saying, yes, I don't want to teach online lessons anymore. I recorded this course, just buy it. And if you have any questions, Google it, So there is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or ask Bernhard. Did you know Bernhard has his own AI?
yes,
It's so good, actually. It's trained for
yeah,
classical musicians. So I'm
yeah.
sending so many people to ask Bernhard.
Thank you for listening to the Fearless Artist Podcast. If you found today's episode inspiring, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to share this podcast with a friend. To join our membership or one of our coaching programs, visit our website at thefearlessartistmastermind.com.
This episode was produced by Pokey Huang at phMediaStudios in New York City. We're Deanna and Michelle, encouraging you to create your own opportunities and to go after what you want. You have what it takes to build the career of your dreams. Until next time, be fearless.